Hi Vishal,
So big match coming up.
big match coming up. It refreshes the memories of how India could have been there, should have been there, but it's not there. But see, I was looking at the the points table, and I realized कि while Test क्रिकेट को सस्टेन करना एक्साइटिंग रखना इतना डिफिकल्ट है, ये वर्ल्ड कप बनाने के लिए वो कैसे फॉर्मूलेज वो लोग यूज कर रहे हैं. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक डकवर्थ लुइस जो हमको कभी समझ ही नहीं आया, सो वो
Only in the case of India, I will say, it is their doing. You cannot lose 3-0 at home against an attack like Santner and Ejaz Khan, with all due respect to them.
I agree.
मतलब कौन और मुरली आपको हरा ना पाए, वेटोरी वगैरह कोई हरा नहीं पाया, और आप इनसे 3-0 हार गए. यू आस्क्ड फॉर इट. अगर आप वो तीनों मैच जीत गए होते विच यू वर एक्सपेक्टेड टू,
यस,
तो आप फाइनल में होते.
नहीं, पर अब ये जो पीसीटी कैलकुलेट करने का जो तरीका है ना, एक टीम 22 मैचेस खेली है, ठीक है, एक टीम 19 खेली है, एक टीम 12 मैच खेली है, जो 5 नंबर पहुंच गई. सो अब हाउ डू यू कैलकुलेट दैट? ठीक है, पीसीटी आप डायरेक्टली वो परसेंटाइल जैसे वो स्कूल्स में करते हैं, बट वो कर लिया आपने. बट एक ने कितने मैचेस ज्यादा, ऑलमोस्ट डबल खेले यार. 12 और 22 में 10 मैचों का फर्क होता है.
बट यू विल हैव टू गिव इट, you'll have to go with this because ये फार्मूला सबने एग्री किया, the rules are the same.
वो that I like I said it is difficult.
अफ्रीका 12 में से 8 जीता है, इंडिया 19 में से 9 जीता है.
हाँ.
तो अगर आप एक भी कर लो तो क्या साउथ अफ्रीका के अगले 7 मैचेस से सिर्फ एक ही जीतता? चांसेस कम है ना. और क्या वो घर पे 3-0 हारता? चांसेस और भी कम है.
बट लाइक आई सेड इट इज ऑल इफ एंड बट्स. नो, डकवर्थ लुइस के जैसा है. अभी इतनी बारिश गिरी तो इतने मार लिए, उतने विकेट गए होते तो इतने करने होते. फिर वो वही हिसाब लग जाता है जो साउथ अफ्रीका वाला, एक बॉल में 22 रन बनाने वाला. सो
बट आई थिंक वी विल स्टिल एग्री दैट विद द काइंड ऑफ टैलेंट इंडिया possesses, 9 matches out of 19 is a very, very, very underwhelming. When you had all the champion players, Ashwin, Rohit, Gully, सब थे. बुमराह था for most part.
Yes.
So you cannot. There is no excuse for India.
No, this was not. Yeah, I was not making an excuse. This was just वो एक you can say अभी हमारी टीम नहीं आई तो as a fan, I will look for things.
बाहर तो वैसे भी कोई था नहीं ना, क्योंकि strangely Australia has been so dominant and the rest has been so bad that किसी के 50% percentile भी नहीं है.
नहीं, वो तो these two teams are deserving. Let's come back to forget India because India है नहीं फाइनल में. I agree completely. ये 68 percentile पे Australia, South Africa, both they are the two deserving teams.
Yeah.
Whatever else the calculation happened, उसको भूल जाओ.
And I think Australia and ex-Australian players इस पॉइंट को बहुत ज्यादा बोल रहे हैं, बिकॉज मुझे लग रहा है कहीं ना कहीं डर ये है कि वो वन ऑफ मैच जो जीत गया साउथ अफ्रीका, तो क्या. सी द थिंग इज, आई थिंक मोर देन द परसेंटेजेस एंड द परसेंटाइल्स, आई फील इट शुड बी अ बेस्ट ऑफ 3 फाइनल. अगर आप मुझे पूछो ना तो इंडिया के लिए खराब वो हुआ लास्ट 2 टाइम, बिकॉज इंडिया वाज सुपर्ब इन बोथ द प्रीवियस 2 cycles. And India lost only because of one bad session in one of those championship finals. I feel
it is something to consider that the final is also like a series, bilateral series जैसा 3 मैच खेलो.
3 मैच.
But see, you in a one day it's easier. आपको 3 मैचेस 3 दिन में खेलना है. टेस्ट करने के लिए आपको 3 मैच खेलना है तो 20 दिन लगेंगे. Because you'll have to take a break in between. 20-25 दिन लग जाएंगे.
वो तो उनको फिगर आउट करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज एक खराब सेशन आपके 2 साल की मेहनत कैसे खराब कर सकता है.
Yes. Then maybe they should, maybe one suggestion should be, and I'm sure somebody is sitting there and thinking that you do the WTC final in 3 matches, but you stagger it. Anyway, पूरा टूर्नामेंट 2 साल तक स्टैगर होता है, तो फाइनल को 3 महीनों के लिए स्टैगर करो. 1 सीजन पूरा स्टैगर करो. एक मैच अभी रखो, एक मैच 2 महीने बाद रखो, एक मैच. But I mean, it takes away the balance, and as time passes things can change, but then that is the way to do it, because एक साथ तो 1 महीना कोई भी टीम नहीं दे पाई.
Hmm.
just to play one final. This thing, वो सबके schedule ले जाएंगे. So you can stagger it. बीच बीच में टाइम निकालो, एक मैच यहाँ खेल लो, एक वहाँ खेल लो, फिर वापस से कहीं और खेल लो. If जरूरत पड़ी तो 2 में हो गया तो बात खत्म.
So what's your prediction?
Prediction is very tough. Both teams have won their previous 5 matches. South Africa has been winning the last 7 matches. Australia has won 12 out of 19. It's very tough. But I see that Australia has the upper hand given their record at Lords, playing the Ashes, also winning finals. Australia is South Africa has always been the team that makes it to the final. Australia has always been the team that wins the finals. So purely judging by that, because on paper teams are pretty much level. The only advantage I see here is Pat Cummins against a Temba Bavuma as a captain. I don't have that much confidence. Pat Cummins is a winning captain, aggressive captain. He's a bowler himself, so he affects the result. वो खुद 5-5 10-10 विकेट निकाल लेता है. I don't know उतना effective batsman Bavuma है.
I think
And we've
paper,
all seen on occasions Pat Cummins batting भी कर लेता है. In a test match 50-50 मार लेता है.
yes.
So to me, बाकी का team is kind of level, but I think Pat Cummins is one edge that Australia has in addition to the experience of winning finals that they have. So I would kind of sway towards Australia. What about you?
I rather feel Australia is hands down favorite because purely because of the experience in terms of number of matches they have played. Overall, as a team, I'm sure they must be, outnumbering South Africa by at least 3x, if not 4x. The number of tests they've played combined as a unit. I think the number of matches they've played in England itself, and specifically Lords, like you said, is also way, way higher. And like you rightly said, the ability to win championships across formats is something that is, second nature to Australia, and which is of an absolutely very distant nature.
Alien.
It's alien rather.
It's alien to them.
But I feel this is the first World Test Championship final that South Africa has reached. The only although actually they are knockout chokers, not just finals. Any knockout they can choke. But there is a huge difference between T20 ODI, and I'm clubbing them together in tests. They have the luxury of time. I think South Africa tends to choke when you have the run rate breathing down their neck, when you have bowlers like Shane Warne who've choked them the most, breathing down their neck, running against time, a frenetic paced match, like they couldn't chase 13-30 last year this month against India in T20. But where I feel where there is a luxury of time, I think the pressure on them might be slightly lesser. And Marco Janssen, Keshav Maharaj, Lungi Nigri, and Kagiso Rabada is a fairly decent bowling lineup. But
see, I'm not sure if that's when you put it just by themselves. Yes, they are fairly decent. But if you put them against, abhi aap dekh lo, Keshav Maharaj spinner versus Nathan Lyon as a spinner, Kagiso Rabada ke samne Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins versus. I'm saying up person to person.
Kagiso Rabada will match because he genuinely at his age. Nobody has taken so many international wickets. So only that way, man to man, only Kagiso Rabada will end up matching them. And maybe
he won't match. He doesn't have the kind of record like Mitchell Starc or Pat Cummins.
No, in terms of number of wickets, this guy is way ahead of everybody. You see his total wickets tally, international wickets tally. At the age of 30, he has 327 test wickets, 168 ODI. It's almost, he's more than 500 international wickets already. And he's just barely 30. उसका 10 दिन पहले उसका 30th birthday हुआ है. So Kagiso Rabada statistically, if you ask, statistically is the greatest bowler in the current times. Starc is at the end of his career almost, and he has around 700 plus wickets. He's already crossed 500, and he's not nowhere close near the end of his career. And 300 plus test wickets at the age of 30.
No,
He
no.
does.
Rabada is brilliant. I'm saying when you stack them, all of them up against the Australian bowling
Yes, yes,
lineup.
Maharaj is no patch on Leon, but
But
Maharaj
it
is
is
very sincere and effective trier. That
very sincere, effective. He also, contributes with the bat sometimes. So all that, but that even Pat Cummins does. Even Nathan Lyon does. So on his day, Mitchell Stark भी 50 मार देगा. But
yeah.
so
See,
they're all.
I also think they are now winning more quarters and semis and ending up reaching finals, the South Africans.
Hmm,
To
hmm,
that extent, हल्का फुल्का तो pressure is हुआ है. And I think
hmm.
the only thing that might work for them if it does is that actually nobody expects them to win.
Yeah, maybe that's the only. But
हो गए हैं कि
I think
अब तो
I.
चेक करना एक्सपेक्टेड है. सो
Hmm.
इवन टू देम द सपोर्टर्स टू क्रिकेट फॉलोअर्स. सो तो जब हारना ही है तो प्रेशर किस बात का? Unless they are in a position where where it's a tight match and they have their noses ahead, तब
Hmm.
देखना पड़ेगा, because that is the point when they start to choke. Otherwise तो कोई प्रेशर ही नहीं है.
Yeah, टेस्ट मैच में वो तो नहीं प्रेशर होना चाहिए. I think if they lose, I mean, which I think they will, because I'm still saying Australia has the edge.
Yeah.
And the difference will be Pat Cummins. Batting में I'm thinking Usman Khwaja, he's in great form. अभी 300 मारा है उसने
Batting तो I
recent.
think कोई comparison ही नहीं है. It's a very
को-
good batting lineup.
So so
South
that,
Africa, very
and
good.
they also have all rounders like Green. अगर उसको चांस
ट्रैवल
मिला
सेट है,
तो.
ख्वाजा है, ग्रीन है. अ,
So
कोई
this.
कोई इशू ही नहीं है. आई थिंक
और लाबुशेन जैसे प्लेयर्स अगर एक बार पिच के ऊपर आ गए और चिपक गए तो फिर तो क्या कोई नहीं कर सकता कुछ.
दिस इज द ओनली फॉर्मेट ही प्लेज नाउ
Yeah,
फ्रॉम ओडीआई. सो
so yeah, I think hands down Australia. I guess this is one prediction which I think we are both on the same side, and there is no debate really, because
no, how can you debate? I mean, such
yeah,
experience versus. Uh, having said that, winning 8 out of 12 matches, 12 test matches is a decent performance.
yes.
So they are in a good run of form. Some of their players have been in the IPL. Rickleton is there in that team. He can
Hmm.
create havoc. We've seen what he does. Uh,
Yes, yes,
Markram, Stubbs is there. Stubbs can absolutely go bonkers. Uh,
yes,
Mercurial players hain. On their day can do anything crazy. And then if you have a very hostile and crazy spell from Rabada, Nigri and Jansen, तो कुछ भी हो सकता है. But
yes.
yes, on paper तो मतलब if I had to bet on this match with my life, it has to be Australia. I mean, without a question.
I'm not sure whether they'll play Kyle Vereni or they'll play Rickleton, because he's more of a T20, like you said. Rickleton if वो blast कर सकता है, but वो T20 format वाला बंदा है. जब I would rather go with Kyle Vereni जो टेस्ट मैच बैटिंग को सूट करता है ज्यादा.
See, if I were them, I would go with an X factor, because आप conventional तरीके से तो इस टीम को हरा नहीं सकते. Question.
They but they need somebody who's like that. Even Stubbs is more like a one day T20 batter.
वही मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये अनकन्वेंशनल प्लेयर्स ही कुछ कर सकते हैं. अदरवाइज एक कन्वेंशनल तरीके से टेस्ट मैच खेला, ऑस्ट्रेलिया विल वेयर यू डाउन and you will eventually collapse. I mean, India was not that bad as the
Hmm.
scoreline suggests in Australia. They just wear you down and वो खत्म कर देते हैं आपको. तो वो एक एक्स फैक्टर मुझे ऐसा लगता है इस साउथ अफ्रीकन टीम को. हैड इट बीन द इंडियन टीम, द करंट इंडियन टीम, आई वुड हैव स्टिल सेड नहीं यार, वो दे सकती है फाइट. यहाँ पे ये ऑन पेपर ऑन एक्सपीरियंस वाइज तो है नहीं. दैट्स व्हाई आई फेल्ट द एक्स फैक्टर, बट आई गेस दे विल गो विद व्हाट.
Also, let's not forget Lords is a very different place. The ball will move, the conditions will come into play, the ground is bigger. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप 50 meters के छक्के मार रहे हो, 60 meters के छक्के मार रहे हो.
Yeah.
It's a test match, and they will have to run hard, they will have to hit hard. And like I said, if the ball does its job, then it's going to be a tough thing. This is going to be a bowlers versus bowler game more than batting. So that's where I think these guys kind of miss out. बाद में we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. A couple of days to go, but it'll be
I
exciting.
broadly agree on what we feel is going to happen. Uh,
Yeah,
but let's hope for an exciting final. We can at least now enjoy without any stress, and
yeah,
and then look forward to the India-England Test series. So let's catch up once the match starts again. Then
yeah. I think one player, if I have to pick from each side, no, Pat Cummins is going to make a big difference by playing well, and I think Temba Bavuma is going to be a bit of a letdown for them. That will be the difference: a strong captain versus a not so strong captain. I'm not even sure if he'll perform very well. So I think that's going to make
but I
the
don't know
final.
if you've seen Temba Bavuma in the last 6 months. He's been in crazy form. Crazy form. He's blasting Pakistan left, right, and center.
यार मैं पाकिस्तान को तो टीम ही नहीं मानता अभी टेस्ट में कहाँ तो
In टेस्ट मैच में भी अच्छा खेल रहा था. Having said that, yes, I understand where you. He's not an inspiring captain,
he's not and he
which Pat Cummins is. So I agree with you.
yeah, Pat Cummins can even if he doesn't inspire others वो अकेला लेके जाएगा खींच के then others will have to follow.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
बबूमा ऐसा नहीं है वो बैठ जाता है उसका बॉडी लैंग्वेज वो शोल्डर्स आई हैव सीन हिम एट मल्टीपल ओकेजन्स और वो खुद का परफॉर्मेंस लाने एक तो ही इज अ प्योर टेस्ट गाय ही प्लेज टेक्स हिज टाइम 100 बॉल में 30-40 रन मारने वाला बंदा है वो सो फिर वो अग्रेसिव होने की तब तक शायद उसका टाइम ही ना बचे so let's see what happens and we'll connect again and discuss the winner
Yes,
which
yes,
will be Australia I think so
yes, yes.
okay see
Okay,
you
okay.
bye bye